Welcome to Keeping Up with Our Community, a podcast for and about Romeo Community Schools. Each week, we will invite different guests to share insights about some unique aspects of our schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and schedule a visit at mit.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Hello, my name is Marianne Brush, and I serve as the Communications and Marketing Supervisor for Romeo Community Schools. This is episode 21 of Keeping Up with Our Community, and part 2 of our 2-part series on student leadership at the elementary level. In episode 20, we heard from leaders at Indian Hills Student Lighthouse Team and Amanda Moore's Green Team. So if you haven't already, be sure to listen to that episode. In this episode, we will hear from representatives from the Kindness Club at Hevel Elementary and the Student Council at Washington Elementary, along with 2 students from Hamilton Parsons who have taken what they learned about being a leader outside their school walls. So joining us now are Mrs. Lauren Kiker, who is the advisor for the club, along with Mrs. Wendy Stabley, and 5th graders Jordan Gauthier, Jaden Gauthier, and Maya Henry. Let's begin with Mrs. Kiker. Can you please introduce yourself and tell our listeners a little bit about the Kindness Club? When did it start and what is its purpose?
Absolutely. This is my 22nd year teaching, and this club, Kindness Club, was formed 2 years ago. The idea really came from my daughter's elementary school, where my daughter was part of a club at one of the Chippewa Valley schools, and I saw how much she was coming home just excited about the kind things that they were doing for other staff members in their building and for students in the community as a whole. And so I brought the idea to our principal, Paul Essien, and I said, this is something that I would really be passionate about starting at Hevel. And so this is our second year. It started in 2022, and we meet once a month every Thursday after school, in which the students stay after school for about 45 minutes to an hour. This year, we started last year with 40 kids, and this year we've moved up our membership, and we have 60 students total.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have 60 members total for grades 3, 4, and 5. And because it became so popular with the kids, our younger elementary students, kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd, there are a few teachers now that started a junior kindness club. And so we're very excited about what we do and how we are able to do kind things for people in our building, students, families that are in need of support, and just kind of share positive ways to help out.
Well, before we meet our students, can you please tell me why you and Ms. Stabley chose these 3 for our podcast?
So these are 3 of our 5th graders. They are leaders in our building. I had the pleasure of having Jaden in class, and Jaden, Jordan, and Maya are all students that just step up whenever we need that leadership role. They are the kindest, most helpful students always. I had Jaden in class, and he's just always willing to lend a helping hand to somebody that might have been struggling or not understanding something. So I think these 3 really amplify examples of what we are looking for as members of Hevel's Kindness Club.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for all you do to make this club possible.
Absolutely.
And I look forward to talking to the students.
They have so many great ideas to share with you. Thank you.
So now we're ready to talk with our student guests. Can each of you introduce yourselves, say your age, your grade, how long you've been at Hevel, and what you like to do outside of school?
I'm Jordan Gauthier. I'm in 5th grade. I've been going to Hevel for 6 years, and I really like to play soccer.
I am Jaden Gauthier. I am also in 5th grade. I am 11 years old, and I like to play sports, and I like to do extracurricular activities.
That's a really hard word to say. Well done.
Yeah.
And for our listeners, it's not just coincidence that you're both the same age and grade. You're also twins.
Yes,
with
we're
the same
twins.
last name.
Yes.
Okay. And Maya?
My name is Maya Henry, and I've also attended Hevel for 6 years, and I play basketball, and then I do gymnastics, and I'm in another club at our school, and that is Girls on the Run.
Thank you. So I want to hear about the Kindness Club from your perspective. Why did you join it? And can you give some examples of the types of things you have done?
Well, we went Christmas caroling at Orchard Grove, like just to give the seniors there like some joy around the Christmas season so that they just had something that they could look forward to. And we also made blankets for
Michael.
Michael. He was battling cancer, and we just wanted to give him something that would make him happy during it. And we also wrote letters to the local EMT and paramedics just to show some joy and appreciation that we appreciate all they do for us.
Yeah, so some other things we did is we made cards and big posters for a Bus Driver Appreciation Day because we have to appreciate our bus drivers as well. Positive, encouraging notes during MSTEP testing week because the 3rd through 5th graders take MSTEP and it's a hard test. So
You want to tell them, you got this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we made these snowflakes. So these snowflakes had like kind messages on them, like amazing job or like you're so nice because like if you every Kindness Club person was given 2 snowflakes, and if you did a good thing, you would get a snowflake, and then you could go to Miss Kiker and get like a pencil because you were being nice.
Love it.
Some other things we did was we made some like bees for Teacher Appreciation Week, and we put them on their doors so they would have a positive message. And then we also created like candy boards where it was like different candy with different words that went out to our staff for also Teacher Appreciation Week. And last year, we made Jenga for the 5th grade with kind and encouraging messages on it for 6th grade so that they could remember it. And then we made kind, encouraging messages just to go out to people that were like struggling.
Very nice. And I understand you have something planned for 5th grade this year, but you can't share it because it's a surprise.
Well, we don't even know.
Oh, because
okay.
we're
We don't know because we're the 5th graders.
Oh, you're the
and-
5th graders, so it's a surprise
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
Exactly.
sense for all 5th
We have no
graders.
idea what.
So we knew what we were
You'll
doing
be
last year,
surprised.
but this year
I
no.
suspect Mrs.
Yeah.
Kiker might know.
I'm pretty
but
sure
Yeah.
they're
she's
gonna
not
change
She
it.
knows. She knows definitely.
But she's not going to spill. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so why do you think it's important to have a kindness club?
I think it's important because it helps put a positive impact on our school and show others that it's good to be kind and it's okay to be kind. Like,
It also shows to like help others in need and be kind. Like we mentioned, we made a blanket for this kid named Michael. He was battling cancer, so we also like threw him like a big party at school, and it was really nice because he was able to enjoy something, and we also raised a lot of money for him, which
That was on the
nice.
news. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the money also was to him do fun things in case his family wanted to do fun things in case he passed away.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
That's amazing.
and like to see if they wanted to get something to remember him. Like the money would
Yeah.
help them,
Exactly.
and if they're struggling.
Wow, that's really impactful. So, what does it mean to you, to each of you individually, to be a leader?
Be a leader is to like make a person's day better. Like a leader isn't just to lead someone, it's also to put an impact on someone as being a leader. So to make people's day better is putting an impact on someone, which shows that you're being a leader.
You can also be a leader in a small group in a classroom, and basically what it means to me is it means getting the work done in the class that we need to get done so that something is done and that somebody can take over and just help in a kind way and not be like rude about it or mean about it.
Another thing is we share positive messages with others so we can bring them up and not bring them down to make their day better and not worse.
I love it. So, how do you apply the skills you've learned in Kindness Club to other aspects of your life, or when you move on to middle school next year? What do you think you'll take with you?
I think it's gonna take a big, like, if it's Teacher Appreciation Week, like we could just write them a small, simple sticky note, stick it on their desk, and it could say like, "Thank you for all you do," or "Thank you for this," or "Thank you for helping me with this," in middle school. And you can apply kindness to anything in your life. Like you can be kind to others. Like if somebody looks like they're struggling, like you can just say, "You can do it," and I know that you'll be able to get through it. Like if somebody's struggling.
Well, a thank you note, I love those ideas because a thank you note can go a long way. Let me tell you. And and if you look like your mom or sister or brother's having a hard time, help them out.
And also, I think it like helps bullying a lot because now that you have learned how to be like really kind to people, you know how to like prevent certain stuff as bullying. So you can stand up for people, make their day better, and just hopefully stop it altogether.
That's a really good point because we do hear a lot about bullying, and it's nice to know that, kids your age are looking out for each other and standing up for each other.
Yeah, and Kindness Club, as we all mature into middle school, has definitely shown us to be nicer. It showed us to have like a fun attitude towards others, especially others, because like you want to be positive towards them and not negative, and I think that's a really important thing to learn.
Yeah, it's cool to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, before we close, I wanted our listeners to hear about the book the club created. I understand it's called Hevel Shares Kindness from A to Z. Does one of you want to read a paragraph from the book that describes why kindness is so important at Hevel?
Yeah, so we each have a paragraph, and the book opens like this. Kindness is very important at Hevel Elementary. We love kindness very much. We have a kindness club. I like kindness because I want to have fun at school and teach mean kids like bullies to be nice. We love Kindness Club, and we wanted to make our school a better place. We didn't write this, but some other people did.
So it was a group
Yeah.
effort, and
Yeah.
it's in the book.
For the whole
Okay.
Kindness
Exactly.
Club, you're partnered up with somebody else. I believe it was in your grade. I don't know, but I was with someone in my grade. And you would just make your page, and you were like assigned a letter in it. Or if there weren't enough letters, you would do the introduction or the
Yeah.
conclusion.
Does anybody else have something to read? Or are we going to go to your individual pages?
We're
Yeah.
gonna go to the pages.
Okay, because I wish our listeners could see the beautiful artwork that accompanies
Yeah.
so there was a for each letter, and so we'll go with yours. We'll do it alphabetically. So Maya, let's start with your letter.
Yeah, I did J is for joyful, and my partner was Zachary, so I want to give him some of the credit too. So here we go. J is for joyful. To be kind and joyful to everyone and anyone. Always have a smile. Compliment someone in a joyful way, have a positive impact on others to make them want to be kind. Celebrate our differences and remember, even though you can't always be happy, still be kind. You might not see kindness, but still believe it. Kindness, spread it and receive it.
Great, love that. And Jaden, you want to read your word?
My brother.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I will.
To go in
Oh, I'm sorry.
To go in
Yeah.
I
alphabetical
think I
order.
have them. Yes,
You're-
to
you're
go in
fine.
alphabetical
You're
order.
fine.
Yeah.
It's a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes.
Thank you. I appreciate you being kind and
Yeah.
recognizing that.
So I did Y, and my partner was Sarah, and I put Y is for you can be kind. You can be kind means you are helpful and very nice. You have the ability to make someone's day better. You can be kind in many ways. You can help people out when someone is going through something. You can help them. You are amazing and nice. Be you.
Thank you. Now we'll close with Z appropriately.
Mine.
Yes.
So, I did this by myself. Mine was have a zesty attitude, and what I wrote for it is be happy and have a fun attitude towards everyone, no matter who they are, because everybody deserves respect. So whenever you meet someone, put some zest, kindness, and respect into someone's day.
Well, thank you all for sharing with our listeners the importance of being kind. You have definitely put some joy and zest in my day, and I hope for our listeners as well. Next, we'll hear from members of the Student Council at Washington Elementary School. Here with us are Mrs. Liz Carlson, who serves as a Student Council Advisor, along with Mrs. Megan Scott, and fourth graders Sarai Schubring and Emmett Couch. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Mrs. Carlson, let's start with you. Why did you and Mrs. Scott choose Sarai and Emmett to represent the Student Council for this podcast?
Oh, well, thank you for inviting us to be here. I chose Emmett because he's a very hard worker in the classroom and is a great role model for other students. And I know I can always trust on him to do the right thing. And I chose Sarai because she's super responsible. She is always organized. She remembers all of her duties and things that she needs to do at school without reminders.
And I understand each elementary school has a different approach to character development, which includes creating a culture where every student can be a leader. Washington Elementary is a caring community. Can you please tell our listeners a little bit about what that means?
Sure. So we're a caring school community, and that is our social emotional learning program that we use. It really focuses on bringing our school and our students together as one community. And we focus on 5 core values. So we teach the students about being self-aware, about having independence, being compassionate towards others, being cooperative with their classmates, and then also being responsible at school.
Well, now let's meet our students.
Mhm.
Can you each tell us a little bit about yourselves? How old you are, what grade you're in, how long you've been at Washington, and what kinds of things you like to do outside of school? Emmett, we'll start with you.
Okay, I'm Emmett Couch. I'm 10 years old and I've been at Washington for 5 years. I like to play sports outside of school and play with my friends.
Nice. Sarai?
I'm Spry. I'm 10 and I've been in Washington ever since kindergarten, and I like to hang out with my friends and play outside.
Nice. Well, thank you both for being here. So now tell us about the Student Council at Washington. What kinds of things do you do? Give some examples.
We did letters for the nursing home where we wrote like nice Christmas notes to them so that way they would enjoy the holiday a little bit more. We did a hat and mitten drive for like the students who have forgotten or are unable to afford their winter gear, and we also did a canned food drive for the Samaritan House.
Nice.
We also did Socktober, where you donate socks and other toiletries, and there's bins that you can put in the toiletries and other things for your grade. And they go to the Samaritan House, I think.
Nice. And you do something called Penny Wars. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Penny Wars is where you donate money to the St. Baldrick's Foundation, and the way Penny Wars works is there's 2 buckets, and you put pennies in your grade's bucket, and other grades can put sabotage, like silver coins and dollar bills, into your sabotage bin to take away money.
So when you say sabotage, you mean that money takes away the pennies, so there's an incentive to put the larger dollar amount. Or very clever.
Yes, and the students really got excited about sabotaging each other, and it really became quite a penny war, true penny war at our school for a week. And we were so proud of just all of our generous Washington families because they were able to raise almost $3,000 for St. Baldrick's. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. Good job, guys. So obviously you've made a difference in a lot of different ways. How do you think you make a difference to people in your school and your community with these things you do? Sarai?
We were like helping people in our community who can't afford things, bringing awareness about things, promoting St. Baldrick's.
We do like a lot of fundraisers and donate things so we can help other people in Romeo.
Nice. So like when you bring mittens or things and somebody can't go out to recess because it's too cold, and they can grab so just little things like that can really make a big difference. So what does it mean to each of you personally to be a leader?
To be like responsible, kind, helping, like be a leader and a role model, and like teach others.
Sarai?
I think it also means to be caring and forgiving. Everybody makes mistakes, so we just gotta forgive those.
That's so important. That's such an important. Adults are still working on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you tell your peers about the importance of getting involved? Would you tell them to join the student council? Is it fun? It's a way to meet people. Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, honestly, this was our first year and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I would tell others to join because it's fun and you can meet new people that you don't know.
Nice. So any other closing thoughts before we move on to our next group? Mrs. Carlson, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I just want to say I'm just so proud of the entire student council, not just our representatives that we have here. They just have done an amazing job this year, working hard, sometimes missing a recess to, do the right thing and take care of whatever job might need to be done. And and really help our whole goal of, our community outreach, which ties in with our caring school community. We're not just a community in our classroom, but also in all of Romeo, and we like helping out.
Nice.
And thank you to Mrs. Scott, my co-partner who also does student council with me. She is amazing, and I love working with her as a team leading our student council. So good job, Emmett and Sarai. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming and representing your peers and student council so well and being leaders at your school.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do as fifth graders.
Well, come
Next
back and
year.
tell us.
That'll be
We
great.
want to hear.
Okay,
All right,
thank you
thank
for
you.
having us.
Sure.
All right.
So part of the purpose of this podcast is to show how leadership can take many different forms. In the previous episode, we learned about how students get involved in Leader in Me at Indian Hills, where a major focus is how every student can be a leader. From members of Amanda Moore's Green Team, we heard about the importance of awareness of our environment and how each of us can take a part in making a difference. Then just earlier in this episode, we heard about the Kindness Club at Hevel and how student government plays a role in making Washington Elementary a better place. Now joining us are students who've taken what they learned about leadership at their school and taken it outside to the community. With us are fourth grader Charlie McGarry and fifth grader Taylor Randalls and their principal, Mrs. Rita Van Staveren. Excuse me, Rita. It's okay. Obviously, Hampar has student groups like the other elementary schools that we heard from. But Mrs. Van, do you want to take a minute to tell our listeners why you chose Charlie and Taylor for this podcast? How do they represent leadership at Hampar?
I really feel like our students have their own passions and desires and things they care deeply about. And we have some great groups that have really taken legs and have ran with really awesome things. Like right now, we just kicked off our green team starting on Earth Day. And I mean, we're doing some cool things. But I think some things stand out. And I think it stands out when I'm going to work and I have a student waiting for me before I get there, before hours, saying, I really care about something. Can you take time to meet with me? I pay close attention to that because that is driven by the student. And I was really thinking of highlighting two students that took that initiative and wanted to take action. So we have here Taylor, and we just recently had St. Baldrick's, and this is something that Romeo's community has done for quite some time. And really, we're trying to raise money for children that have experienced going through cancer. And it's doing cancer research, and it's a very exciting and meaningful experience for our community. Taylor came to me in the morning and had some great feelings about really letting our community know, because we happen to have a fifth grader that is in one of our fifth grade classes, not her direct class, but has been going through cancer, and we have been kind of walking this journey with their student. And that kind of pulls at your heartstrings because we care deeply about him, and we knew that he was going to be being represented there. And she said, I want people to know that they should come out and they should partake in this, because one of our Hampar students is actually in this struggle. Now, that student that we were celebrating, he recently finished all his chemo rounds. And if you know anything about cancer, when they finish and they're in the clear, they get to ring the bell. So he was able to ring the bell this year. But when Taylor came to me, this was prior to that, and he was, still dealing with a lot in his personal life, missing a lot of school. She took it upon herself to number one, want to share with our whole school, want to share with the fifth grade classes, letting them know, the why behind it, and sharing her passion. And I felt like that kind of leadership really stands out. And at Hampar, it's super important that we are empowering our students to want to take action on things they're passionate about, and listening when they have something to say. So I'm just really proud of both of them for different initiatives. And then we have Charlie, and Charlie came to me and she said, I really want to do something that's really close to home. I've done it before. I make bracelets, and could I sell the bracelets so we can send care packages for troops? And again, like own initiative. There's a lot of logistics that go into taking action. There's a lot of work in the background. And the fact that these two did that work on their own without being led, just driven by their own passion, I think really says a lot about who they are as people, but also the adults that are in their life that give them a platform and the space to grow and make a difference in our world. So I'll have them share with you, the purpose and the why, and maybe, more of the story leading up to that. But they stood out to me, and I really wanted to highlight them because I really think they are exceptional young ladies.
Well, thank you for sharing that background. And now let's hear from our students. Can you each take a moment to tell our listeners your name, age, grade, how long you've attended Hampar, and any interest you have outside of school? Taylor, let's begin with you.
I'm Taylor. I'm 11. I'm in 5th grade. I've attended Hampar for 6 years. I like to swim, do cheer, and do competitive dance.
Charlie?
Hi, my name is Charlie McGarry. I'm 10 years old. I'm 4th grade. I've been in my Hamilton Parsons Elementary School for 5 years, and in my free time, I like doing gymnastics, drawing, baking, and crafts.
Great. So now let's hear about each of your projects and what inspired you. Charlie, let's begin with you this time.
Well,
Tell us about Loops for Troops, right? I'm wearing one right now.
Yeah. I started it summer 2022, and I made bracelets for donations, and the donations that I got, I made care packs out of them to send to our troops overseas. And what inspired me is my family, because a lot of them are in the military, and I want to show support to our troops.
Thank you. Taylor, you want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Yeah, so I didn't really know Gabe was starring in the St. Baldrick's Foundation, and I wanted to spread it to the school, or at least our 5th grade, to come out and support him. I went in the morning to Miss Van, and I proposed my idea about giving and presenting to all of my 5th grade fellow classmates and telling them what Gabe is going through. And I even got to go through the PA. I feel like I've got some money for the St. Baldrick's Foundation, and I got one of my classmates to shave his head. And I really feel like I made a difference, how...
Sort of spreading awareness for people so they understand the importance of, Yeah,
because it's cancer isn't really funny because it's life-taking, and Gabe really didn't deserve to have it.
Right. So what does it mean to you each personally to be a leader? Has this made you reflect a little bit more on what it takes? You have to have a lot of initiative for these projects. Charlie?
To me, being a leader is you show others how to be kind and positive, and you show how to make good choices and right from wrong.
Taylor?
It shows that you really care, and you're showing yourself leading and showing who you really are.
You're being a role model and setting an example for others.
Yeah.
How has this experience changed you or helped you grow? For example, Taylor, you're headed to Romeo Middle School next year, right? So how will you take the skills you learned?
I feel like this boosted my confidence, and I'll really try to do something like this next year. But when I'm in 5th grade and I have much of a more audience in middle school because they're combining 5 other districts. I wish I could pass the torch on to someone in our school so they could help this young 5er out with cancer, and hopefully this doesn't happen again because cancer.
Well, maybe you can. Maybe Mrs. Van can help you pass the torch to somebody else, or a 5th grader next year who can continue the work you've been doing, and you can take it with you, to Romeo Middle School. What about you, Charlie? How do you think this has changed or helped you grow?
Well, it shows me that others care about our troops, and it shows me that they care about people that they probably don't even know, and that they want to help them.
Nice. Is there anything else you'd like our listeners to know? Or Mrs. Van, do you have anything to add?
Again, super proud of our Hampar students, and super proud of, because we have students that take action, small and large, every day. But some action, when you're really putting others first, it takes a lot of time. It takes planning, preparation, and it also it's a very mature and grown-up thing to do, to kind of see the plan through. So I know that they have planted seeds because they have shared with our community in Hampar, and that is planting the seed to empower other students. Because I like to tell our students, I ended with our fifth graders, I gave them a lesson on like things to remember, and one of them is, you were a great influencer. I think that people perk up when a student has something to say in a different way than an adult, and if the only way that I can really help spread that message is if I highlight students that are doing just that. So, yeah, I think that, we're all growing and we're planting seeds to help spark interest, to really shine light that, other people matter, and it's important to do good work, and help people out when they need it. So, thank you so much for your time, and girls, thank you so much too.
Thank you both, and thank you for being such great influencers and inspiring others, and sharing your stories with us, with our listeners today. Thank you. Thank you to all of our student leaders and their advisors for participating in this series on student leadership. In these last 2 episodes, we've learned a lot about the importance of leadership, even from our youngest students. Up next is our next mental health roundtable, which will focus on getting ready for the summer. Be sure to tune in for some helpful tips and resources before the school year winds up. Thank you for joining us, and tune in next week to keep up with Romeo Community Schools. This podcast is powered by the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than MIT TV. Their in-studio podcast experience allows you to record perfect audio and capture amazing video. That's all right here at the MIT TV of Romeo, Michigan. Contact them now via email for a free consultation and schedule a visit at mit.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's MITT.tvpodcast@gmail.com.